No Instagram, no TikTok, just me on an island in Brazil pursuing goals for 50 days. That's how I spent my last 2 months, and not only has it given me the peace of mind that I was really looking for, but I feel like I have a new level of focus and clarity that I really haven't felt before. And this video isn't meant to demonize social media. It has its uses for sure, but my hope is that after watching this video, you rethink your social media consumption. So the story starts back in Colombia, a few weeks before I arrived in Brazil. I was definitely overstimulated from both the noise of the city and the social media consumption that I was doing at the time. I feel like I didn't really have clarity on where I wanted to go with YouTube, my day job, fitness, literally everything. Kind of just felt like I was throwing darts at the wall and hoping something sticked. I really wasn't strategic about where I wanted to go. I was making good progress, but I wasn't focused, and I was easily distracted. And when you feel like that for too long, you're not focused on your long-term goals, and you're not going to get to where you want to go. So I realized I needed some downtime, and I needed to be at the beach. And luckily one night at a dinner that I was having with a friend and friends of friends, someone mentioned that he had just gotten back from this island in Brazil called Florianopolis, and its nickname is the Magic Island, and he had nothing but good things to say about it. So I looked it up. It looked beautiful. I wanted to be on the beach. I was like, all right, this is a no-brainer. This is where I'm going. I created a plan. I wanted to lock in. I wanted to get shit done, really gain clarity on where I wanted to go. And also, like I said earlier, peace of mind. I wanted to focus and kind of just be able to relax, but also have a new direction to go. So I arrived, and even at first, I was negotiating with myself still. I didn't delete social media for 3 days, even though I knew I wanted to delete it right there, right when I arrived. That was the original plan, but some part of me just couldn't do it right away. So once I deleted it, the first 2 weeks were pretty tough. I found myself scrolling to where Instagram would be when I was bored. I'm like, oh, there's no distraction there that I can just mindlessly scroll for 5 minutes. And that was tough to deal with at first. And when I didn't have those easy distractions that I could just scroll over to when I was bored, it made it very apparent that my brain was very reliant on needing quick dopamine, quick stimulation, and I couldn't just sit there and be bored. And I was like, all right, this is a problem. This was even more motivation to keep them deleted and really see how long I could stay focused without having these apps on my phone. So when I would go to scroll to where the app was, I just had to sit there and be like, oh, this is a problem. I realized that when I was bored and felt these urges to scroll, I was basically on autopilot. I wasn't intentionally going to consume useful content. My subconscious brain was like, you need a distraction now, go to Instagram. And that is not where you want to be when you're trying to focus, use your brain better, and get shit done. After the first few weeks, it started to get a bit easier. In the mornings, I wasn't scrolling on anything. At night, I wasn't scrolling on anything. I just had my work to do and my fitness to take care of. So that made it very useful for gaining clarity because I had more free time. So I was able to think more about what I wanted, what my goals were. And then I just started picking up steam. I became more and more productive. I had a solid morning routine. I had a solid night routine. I wasn't worried about liking anyone's post, having to post myself. There's no way I could get stuck in a doom scrolling loop. And after the weeks went by, I could see my attention span start to improve. And I didn't need these 30-second dopamine hits that you get from TikTok or Instagram or even YouTube Shorts. And I just became so focused on my goals that I feel like I was finally able to get ahead and start achieving and making progress on the things I wanted to, instead of feeling like I was playing catch up because I didn't have enough time and that time was just wasted on social media. So by the end of the 50 days, I really felt like my focus and clarity had improved. My nervous system had completely relaxed from being on a peaceful beach island and not having the constant stimulation of social media. And I wasn't comparing myself to anyone. For those 50 days, most of the thoughts that I had were coming from myself. Occasionally YouTube videos, that was the exception. It wasn't like I had no media at all. I was still occasionally watching YouTube or Netflix, but those were longer form pieces that required a bit more attention, even if it was still like somewhat nonsense content. And I really feel like those 50 days kind of just reset my brain to a new baseline where I don't feel the big urges to just scroll on Instagram all day anymore. However, eventually my time in Brazil was up and I wanted to re-download Instagram to kind of communicate with more people, re-enter society a little bit, because you can't just stay isolated on an island with no social media forever. So I had to reintegrate, re-download social media. And I have just started with Instagram, still don't have TikTok. I think I'm going to try to stick to one app at a time. But when I first re-downloaded Instagram, I rebounded pretty hard, I'm not going to lie. The very first day that I downloaded it, I probably spent 2 to 3 hours on Instagram doom scrolling. And I think it was kind of just like the flood of dopamine came back, and my brain was like, holy fuck, what is this that we've been missing for the last 2 months? And at the end of the day, my brain was not happy with me, and I just felt drained, and how I used to, like, my brain felt a little foggy, and I'm like, wow, this is bad. Like, immediately I noticed the effects and the downsides. Then the next day I almost did the same thing, but I was able to catch myself, so didn't waste as much time. Probably still scrolled for almost an hour. And then a few days went by, and there's some times where I would try to scroll for a bit, but I was able to catch myself. And that's what I feel like has been one of the biggest benefits, is now I'm able to catch myself easier. And I also don't really want to scroll as much, just because I know that the content I'm consuming on there is mostly nonsense. Unless you're intentionally looking for some information, or you're going there to watch one person in specific, most of the content is just going to be nonsense, and you're just consuming it to consume it. And this just showed me how powerful the algorithm is, and how it can just hook you instantly. And if you don't like some videos and you scroll past them, it'll just show you new ones you're interested in. And I literally could see, like, minute by minute, my algorithm changing and updating to the new videos that I was watching. And it just kept trying to get me more and more hooked. And I'm like, this is bad. Like, this is why people's brains are so messed up, is because they're literally using science to keep you on the app and keep your brain fucked. And this also showed me that most of the time that I'm just mindlessly consuming content on Instagram or TikTok, it's because I don't have a goal, or I'm bored. So if you're bored, or you don't have goals that you want to work towards, you're just gonna fill that gap with whatever is easily available. And for me, and I feel like most people, that's Instagram or TikTok. And without those for me to just default to, I was able to gain clarity on what I wanted to accomplish, what I want to start working towards. And now that I have re-downloaded Instagram, but I still have those goals that I want to work towards, it's less enticing to just waste time on Instagram, because I know that it's taking away from the goals that I want to pursue. And it's been about 2 weeks since I've re-downloaded Instagram, and the urges are starting to go away. I don't feel like I need to be scrolling as often. The rebound kind of died out, and kind of assimilated back into having it on my phone, but also still have the clarity and focus that I gained from not having it. And I'm more focused on the goals and the projects I want to get done. And if I am gonna consume Instagram content, it's gonna be intentional. Maybe at the end of the day, when my brain is fried from working, I'll be like, all right, I'm allowed 5 to 10 minutes to just shut my brain off and watch some nonsense. But I am conscious of it, I'm aware of it, it is intentional that I'm going to be scrolling, and I set myself a limit. So 5 to 10 minutes, and then I'm done. I'm not just gonna sit there for 30 minutes to an hour and waste my night away and fry my brain even more. And this need to not be constantly stimulated has helped me so much, because I'm a pretty active and go type of person. So Instagram is perfect for that, because you're just getting constant stimulation. Same with TikTok. But when you can take a second to chill and you don't need to be constantly stimulated, not only do I feel like I have better thoughts, but they're more oriented towards my goals, where I want to go. And my subconscious mind is just thinking about things that are going to help my future, instead of just some random ass meme that I saw that maybe is funny, but doesn't ultimately contribute anything to my life. So moving forward, I feel like I have a pretty good system with this now, where I'm just gonna use it a few minutes at the end of the day if I wanna mindlessly scroll and communicate with people. But I'm no longer gonna be using it in the morning or right before bed, or unintentionally. If I'm on it, it's gonna be for a reason. Still haven't re-downloaded TikTok. I don't think I will anytime soon, just because if I want short form content, I can get it on Instagram. There's just no need to have extra temptation of having 2 short form content apps. And I know it isn't practical for most people to just move to an island and not really communicate with most people for 2 months. But I feel like the main takeaway here is gonna translate to most people's lives. And that is that the environment that you place yourself in and the thoughts that you fill with your head dictate the outcome and the trajectory of your life. If you're always in a loud, hyperstimulated, very distracting place, that's how your inner world is gonna be as well. Your brain's not gonna be as focused, it's gonna be scattered, there's gonna be noise everywhere. And that's what too much social media consumption does to your brain. So when you can take a step back from that and declutter your physical environment, but also your digital environment, and stop taking in so much useless information, it just lets your mind focus more on what is important to you. And you're not just getting random bits of information from all different sources that don't really serve you. And when you free up this mental bandwidth, you can just focus so much more on what truly matters to you. So maybe you don't have to move to an island for 2 months and delete both apps from your phone, but take a break for a little bit, try it for a week, and at least intentionally consume content. Don't just mindlessly scroll for hours, and really think about the inputs that you're putting in your brain, what social media is doing to you, and see what you can accomplish, see what you can do to your brain, see the clarity that you can gain. If you feel like social media has a pretty big grasp on your brain right now, watch this video for some help.